Hi there, my name is Noor Sathe. So I will demonstrate that to do activities of course COSC 6160C. For that course, we need this topology which is shown in front of your screens. Now you can see that we are using a one physical computer. We have a virtual box virtualization software installed on it, and then in that we need four machines: server DC1, name of first machine; server DM1, name of second machine; server DM2 is the name of third machine; and then we have a server SA. So DC stands for domain controller, DM stands for domain member, and SA stands for standalone. Now you can see that they're using two virtual switches, one with the name of internal and the other with the name of a private virtual switch. So as we are using VirtualBox, so in that what I will do, it's a kind of a small change or small change in names. We will use internal virtual switches and then we name them as a internal and private. So this is your full topology which is required for all the courses in subsequent semesters, starting from 6160C. Then next semester you will do course on COSC 6152, and then we have a 6148 and 53. In all these four courses, we are using same topology. But for this course, COSC 6160C, to in the start and to make things simple, what I will use only one switch, which is the internal switch, and we can use any network address, but we're going to choose 192.168.0.0.24 network. So that will be our full topology, and the topology which we will use for the COSC 6160 course. Now you must have a operating system downloaded. Okay, so I have downloaded operating system from server from Microsoft Imagine website, and then what I'll do, I will for ease I will actually copy it onto the desktop. So that is a prerequisite to create VMs in VirtualBox. Okay, so now you need to open VirtualBox. I have already machines there, so what I will do, I will kill them first. I will remove them. Okay, now it's VirtualBox. VirtualBox is your Oracle VM VirtualBox, which you can install from Oracle VirtualBox website. I can show you here. Oracle VirtualBox. Yeah, virtualbox.org. That's the website. So the latest version is 5.2, so you download from here. Okay, after download, it will create a desktop icon. On the desktop, double click that and you will see this window. Welcome to VirtualBox. It's a very nice tool for virtualization to create VMs. So I will go first to new. So according to my topology, so I need to create DC1, server DC1. So I will create this one first, and then I will create DM1, DM2, and SA1. So what I'll do, just to save time, I will install operating system first. I will create one VM, and then what I will do, I will create a copy of those, and then I will name them as DM1, DM2, and SA1. Okay, so new machine, so name it server DC1, choose operating system, (2016) 64-bit operating system. Say next. Now over here you need to choose how much RAM or memory size you want to use. Now it totally depends on your system. So my system which I'm using, it is a very good system with i7 processor, plus it has 32 gig of RAM. So as I'm going to create some 4 virtual machines, so I can afford to have 4 gig assigned to each virtual machine. So it is possible for me. Now you need to look at your machine. So if you have 8 gig of RAM, then because minimum requirement of any 2016 server is 2 gig of RAM, so in that case if you assign 2 gig, then there is nothing will be left for your host operating system, so which will be difficult. So in that case, if you have 8 gig of RAM in your home, then you can run at the most 2 machines in parallel by giving them 2 plus 2 gig of RAM. So it's totally, but all the machines which we have in our labs in your school, they all have 32 gig of RAM, so which are very nice and good machines. Go to next, create a virtual disk now. So I will create that. Over here it asks me about the hard disk file type. So VDI, VHDA and VMDK. So these are 3 types. So we're going to choose VDI, which is your default one. Say next. For storage on physical hard disk, dynamically allocated. Now we will choose dynamically allocated because it actually allocates as the data will increase. Say next. Over here it asks you to put a hard disk value, which is 50 gig there, so it's enough for all our activities. So I will go with this same 50 gig and then say create. So it has created a VM with server DC1. Now what I will do, I will start it, and then at the start it will ask me from where to find the operating system, and then it will start the installation. As I have already there on desktop, so I'll double click it and then start. So now what it will do, now it is loading files. So it is copying from ISO and the process of installation is started. First window, keyboard method, US term and currency, so it's better to use Australia. Sorry. We need to look at +10 with Melbourne. Time and currency format. That's amazing. But anyhow, we go with the United States. Okay, even it's not allowing me to put the United States in. Yeah. Next, install now. So setup is now starting. Now, if you remember in my last video, I showed you that how to install an ISO, and then over there it gives you a key value as well. So you need to put key values over here. Now there are 4 choices. The first one is Windows Server 2016 standard. Then we have standard desktop experience. Then we have a data center, and then we have a 2016 data center desktop experience. Now desktop experience, that gives us the GUI interface. So for server DC1, that's what we're gonna choose, data center with GUI, which is desktop experience. The other one, 2016 with data center, this is your server core, in which there is a CLI mode. You don't have GUI, graphic user interface, you have a CLI interface. And one of the machine, which is DM2, domain member 2, will be that server core. But for DC1, choose desktop experience, 2016 data server. Next, accept the license terms. Next, custom install. So this is your 50 gig of RS, so choose that. And now it is start copying. So it will take some time. So we will wait for that. So this is actually your activity number 2.2 and 2.3. So in 2.2 activity, which is on page number 46, it asks you to, now it will take a restart. So we can say restart now. So while it is restarting, we go to the optical drives and then remove disk from the virtual drive. So that way it will not go into the finding again, and then it will not start installing again that operating system. So in activity 2.2, creating a new virtual machine for server installation, in your book on page number 46, that actually takes you with the Hyper-V virtualization software. So we are not using that Hyper-V. We are using VirtualBox. So these are two virtualization software, two types of virtualization software. We will also study Hyper-V, but in next semester. But anyhow, I have shown you how to download VirtualBox and how to create a virtual machine there. Activity 2.3 is about the server desktop experience installation. So we have done up to step number 7, and in step number 8, it actually, this is what the customization of setting is. So we're going to put a password of P capital password 01. So that's our generic password. It's better to use the same password so that we don't forget that password. So password, and then Click next. So this is going to finalize our settings. And that's the end of our activity 2.3. So in chapter 2, I've started from here. Activity 2.1 is just resetting of virtual environment, which is VirtualBox. Activity 2.2 is about how to create a virtual machine, so I've done that. And then activity 2.3 is install the Windows Server 2016 desktop experience, which I've just did it in front of you. So it is still finalizing your settings. If your RAM is small, then it takes much more time. So in my case, I've given a 4 gig of RAM, so very quickly it actually went into the installation quickly. It has completed installation quickly. Now, so that's the restart, and this is the full installation. And if you look at the desktop of the 2016 server, it is very much like Windows 10 operating system. So we go to input, keyboard, insert Control-Alt-Del, administrator. Now this is the administrator password or user, which is by default is there. So I'm going to put password 01, press enter, and this is how I will get into my 2016 server. So this is my server DC1. So that's the end of our activity number 2.2 and 2.3.